purple rain, ain't that insane? I bet you seen that coming like a million miles away. That's real. I wear my beanie in the winter just like Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I feel like freedom is like a commodity that's sold to you, in a sense, but it's not exactly like real. Freedom kind of lacks of responsibility and obligation. I believe in like, you know, discipline along with like your per se freedom. The whole thing is they've been making it where the American dream is freedom, you know, saying like your white picket fence and everything like that. But it's like, of course, we know like that's not true. So I feel like the real thing is like access. And it's just like when you gain knowledge of like what, you know, whatever it may be, whatever aspect of life you're looking for, then you gain an upper hand. I enjoy it, high key. I for sure enjoy it. This generation seems like they're like they've obtained like freedom, but it's like they have no obligation and like, you know, high key no respect in a sense. Like we've all like done our homework. They have a certain sense of like just like no holds barred, and it's like it takes that no holds barred to find new shit really. And I think that's dope. Like they don't feel like they have to be like connected to any sort of thing. But in the same sense, you know, it's just respect. It's full on respect. And it's like high key, like the pattern always repeats itself. In the 90s, they were talking about death a lot, like always like ready for death. And it's just like a couple of those artists like helped their deaths or like their demise manifest. But for me, I feel that like the music today, trap, whatever, it's like SoundCloud and stuff like that, it sure reminds me of punk. Like punk back in the 70s and 80s, them dudes weren't talented. Like they weren't like skilled musicians. They weren't like good vocalists. They were just like raging, bruh, and like they were just expressing themselves. And I think that's what trap is today, like all the SoundCloud trap. Like that shit goes hard. You can't deny that shit. You hear it, you like, I don't know what he's saying, but you feel that shit. When I rap, like I rap like I feel like I rap like a West Coast nigga. Like, if I'm not dancing and stuff like that, if I'm actually spitting bars, like it's like even like how I talk, I just said bars. Like West Coast niggas always enunciate they R's hella hard, but it's like I do pull from it, like Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, harmonizing and stuff like that. East Siders, like on some like some hard shit. But I wouldn't say like that's my starting point. My starting point was like more so like the Outkast, like the Ericas and NERDs and stuff like that. They spoke my language. I was always different. I was always strange, and I didn't really fit in to like much of any of my classmates, much of any of the school really. And it's just like for a long time I didn't have like I didn't have anybody saying like it's cool to be like who you are. I didn't have a theme song, you know. And then those groups start coming out. They just added the soundtrack to my rebellion really. Actually, this is a recent discovery. When I started going overseas and performing and like seeing kids, they know how to like pronounce and like repeat the sound of the word. Like I would like be listening while I'm rapping, and I'm just like, they're not saying the words, man. But it's like you can tell like they like knew when I say bounce, like you know what time it is. Like it's time to bounce and shit like that. I don't know. Music is its own language, but it's the most universal language other than mathematics. It transcends beyond culture, ethnicity, all that shit. Like humans know music because it's based off of feelings. Erykah Badu, that was crazy. She followed me on Instagram. I wrote her this long, like, you know, appreciation letter. She just sent back some emojis and stuff, but but that shit was crazy. But even that, it's just like, damn, like you know who I am. I always try to figure out what style do I pull from, what, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always like, it always pulls from like a certain area of like punk, but punk in a sense of like, I don't have to sit there and like be studied out with spikes. It's more so that radicalness. I found out that the biggest power up I had was like me going into myself and like really knowing myself, really knowing what I like. And the deeper I went into myself, like, I don't know, like it just, I found a certain comfort. To tell you the truth, yeah, my style is a whole lot of me. A whole lot of Duckwrth.
What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.